and them coming out with an SE, that same year, I think, no, you won't be getting that of the 14. You won't be getting a lot of those features. What's up, guys? You know who I am, and you know who I'm with. But if you don't, my name is David, and I'm with Maximfix. And today we are talking some more of the peak performance event releases and reviews that we've gotten so far. This one's going to tap into the iPhone SE. So I'm gonna ask you guys to stick around, but before we get started, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Comment at the end of the video, unless you got something that you wanna let us know before you watch it. And don't forget to ring the bell so you know when our next video drops, all right? I ain't gonna keep you guys here long. Let's tap into it, the iPhone SE. So the iPhone SE serves a very particular market. There are a few reasons why I could see someone purchasing the iPhone SE. You're breaking into the iPhone realm. It's relatively cost-friendly. It's simple, and lastly, you need something exclusively to function for work. Perhaps it's a certain combination of all of the above. Sometimes it isn't about getting the latest and the greatest. This group was catered to on March 8th with the release of, or the debut of the iPhone SE, and we wanted to give you a little insight on what to expect with this phone. Starting with the specs, the new iPhone SE is a replica of the iPhone 8 chassis with a 4.7-inch LCD screen and with a home button. With prices ranging between $429 to $579, you can pick up this smartphone in 64 gigabytes, 128 gigabytes, or 256 gigabytes. It does pick up accelerated performance with the same A15 chip found on the iPhone 13, giving you great performance with a low cost. Also increases the chip efficiency, giving you a better battery life. Another thing you may notice is the increased download speeds and the decreased latency that comes with the new 5G support. Though 5G isn't available, worldwide, those places with great coverage will benefit with this support. So if you're getting this for that sole reason, make sure you do your research in understanding where 5G is relative to where you'll be. For the camera is a mashup of its predecessor and some new improvements that come along with the new A15 chip. From the model before, it's brought over the 12 megapixel rear and 7 megapixel front camera, recording in 4K video at 60 frames per second. However, the camera feature introduced by the A15 chip is the Deep Fusion and photographic styles. The Deep Fusion takes the best elements from the several images it's taken to improve the overall outcome in a single image. The one drawback to note is the low light photos. You can't get everything. Now, as stated before, the iPhone design is a replica of older models, the chassis from the iPhone 8 and some other tweaks that dates back to the iPhone 6. Now, with rumors of omitting the iPhone mini in the iPhone 14 release, the SE may be the most current model for one-handed use. You'll still find Touch ID on the iPhone SE, therefore it carries a huge bezel that may throw off some users, especially when looking at photo sizes. However, the glass used for the new SE is also sturdier than before. It's using the same iPhone glass found on the back of the iPhone 13. To reiterate on the performance, with the incorporation of 5G support and leveling up 2 chip grades to an A15 chip from the A13, you can expect a greater user experience with solid benchmark results. The upgrade of the chips will ensure the SE's longevity and battery life and software upgrades in the future. So you get that iPhone SE, we have the latest chip on there. You can expect for software updates to continue on for that device going forward, for the foreseeable future at least. The takeaway is the SE isn't a phone to flex with, but rather one that supports longevity and practical use. The core and design has been in place on other devices for nearly a decade. The flex for the SE is the price, if that's important to you and your smartphone decision. So if you aren't looking for all the bells and whistles, but rather something simple and economic, this will be a move for you. And when you consider the A15 chip upgrade against the cost, it's definitely an appealing choice. So yeah, the iPhone SE, I've never owned one, but when I think about Apple dropping the iPhone mini allegedly for the 14 release, and them coming out with an SE, that same year, I think No, you won't be getting that of the 14. You won't be getting a lot of those features. But again, two similarities that I can see being drawn from the both of them is the one-handed use, like I stated before, and also it being a cost-friendly option. I do believe the SE is a little bit more cost-friendly than the Mini. So I mean, if you're looking for something simple with practical use, something that's cost effective, something that's, you know, meant for one hand, if you're a multitasker, then yeah, you might not get the Mini, but the SE may be a good alternative for you. If you're not worried about all the bells and whistles, boom, you got your solution right there. I think that the SE, I feel like the SE might be worth it for some folks. Me personally, I'm part of the big screen community. I don't have big hands at all. But I often fumble. I don't mind fumbling with my phone, you know, so I can get the user experience that I'm looking for. But I also know a lot of people in my circle that don't go for the things that I go for on a smartphone. You know, they're not streaming all the time. They're not using their phone for everything. People like my mom, people like, you know, aunts and uncles, you know, folks who just have the phone just to have. You know, I feel like something like the SE might be good for them. My mom just broke into the iPhone world, and no, she doesn't have an SE or a Mini, but I can see where she probably would have gone for it, knowing my mom. So if that is your story, maybe this resonated with you, who knows? If it did resonate with you, tell us in the comments. If it did not resonate with you, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I don't care, just talk to me. I'm David, I'm with Max and Fix, and that was our SE initial thoughts and reviews. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and like I always say, may His peace be with you until we meet again. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.